Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another awesome coronavirus unemployment video. This is week 5 that I'm in. I'm recording this a little bit after 1 a.m. either Friday night or Saturday morning, depending on how you look at it. I'll upload this at some point on Saturday. Don't know when, because after I record this, I'm just going to bed. And the longer that I go into this weird period of time in my life, it seems like time has less and less meaning, and what day it is doesn't seem to matter. Things are really strange as far as that goes, but I just wanted to kind of get that out there to begin with. But I'll go ahead and talk about my week now because that's what I've been doing related to what's going on. This week we'll start with the procedural because there's very little to report. I tried calling unemployment a bunch of times to ask about taxes. I was unable to get them at all this week. I did not speak to unemployment once, despite many attempts to do so. I probably wasn't as diligent as I could have been, but I definitely tried at least 40 times, maybe 40, 50 times throughout the week. I know that's not a huge number of times, so I will probably try to up my game some more on that next week. And as a side note, I know that I am extremely fortunate that I am collecting this unemployment. Um, if I wasn't, these videos would be a lot different. My situation would be much, 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 much worse if I was not getting unemployment. I would be if I was not getting the unemployment, I would be in extreme desperation mode by this point. So the fact that I'm getting unemployment is definitely easing this period of time that I'm in right now. Of course, unemployment is not infinite and it will eventually run out. So it buys me some time, but it doesn't buy me any peace of mind, really. So there's that. As far as the other procedural thing goes, my former employer did pay me for my back vacation pay and the couple of days I worked. But of course, they fucked that paycheck up too. They withheld health insurance premiums on me again. So which apparently I don't have as of today. Well, I guess 2 days ago now, May 1st, I didn't have health insurance through them anymore. So I just emailed the HR person, hey, if I can still continue to have health insurance for another month, feel free to hang on to those premiums. But if my health insurance was canceled, I'd like to get that money back. Please let me know. I emailed her around, I don't know, 11 something this morning. And we'll see. I mean, I know she'll get back with me. She hasn't gotten back with me yet, but I'm not really worried about that. So now I'll talk about personally how I've been doing. I've been pretty good, on the whole exercise thing. I'm still doing that pretty much every day. I do miss a day here or there, but I haven't really fallen off the wagon as far as that goes, which is great. So that is a big improvement, I guess, for me personally. Um, Hell, tonight I exercised at like friggin' 9:30 at night, which I normally wouldn't do it that late, but since I slept till 10 this morning, it's like, what's the big deal, right? So, yeah, I know I'm getting a little off track there. Uh, and as far as homeschooling my kids, well, yes, I've got a routine down with them, but that doesn't make me hate it any less. It's absolutely just not fun and not remotely what I want to do. Um, in fact, it is making this time very much more unpleasant than it would be otherwise. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're unemployed. You must have so much spare time, just chilling out, doing whatever." I wish that were the case. I absolutely have not a lot of spare time, uh, because you know I'm always dealing with my kids in one way or another, pretty much, and doing things and yada yada yada. It's worse than when I'm working. So yeah. Thankfully, my younger daughter, her schooling ends at the end. Basically, her schooling ends at the end of May, so there is at least an end point for her. As far as my older daughter goes, she will go back to Job Corps sooner or later. I don't know when, but that'll happen eventually. And then when those things happen, that will make life somewhat easier, and that will be a relief. So there's that. And now let's talk about the job hunt. How did my job hunting go this week? More or less the same as other weeks. I had, again, some more uninspiring talks with a few recruiters. Um, One job I applied for that was an actual, what I would call a good, legitimate job, reached out to me, asked me what my salary range was. I hate when they do that because you don't want to say a number that's too low, because they will be like, oh, well, all we have to pay is this, even if they were intending to pay more. And you don't want to give a number that's too high, because then you may price yourself out of the job. So I did give them a number, and that was on Tuesday, and I've yet to hear back from them. So I'm not very hopeful that I'll hear anything else on this job. I probably won't. If I hear nothing by the end of next week, I'll assume that I'll hear nothing, or I might get an official FU notice. So who knows? Um, I applied for several, frankly, terrible jobs this week just to have something to apply for. Um, I got a what I would consider a spam telemarketing phone call today about American Family Life, I think, and it was some woman telling me about how great my background was from my resume, and something to do with life insurance, of course. And I'm just like, and I asked her some pretty tough questions. I said, why would you assume that I would have any interest in this based on, my background? I've never done anything even remote. And then she had an answer for everything. I got to give her credit. But my scam alarm bells were ringing very hot, loudly in my head, because she's like, "Oh, we start folks out at like 60 grand a year for just answering questions about policy," and I'm thinking to myself, "Uh huh." And she's like, "And if you want to be a manager, we start those guys out at 100 grand." I'm thinking to myself, "You're gonna pay me six figures to be a manager in an industry I have zero experience with." Sounds totally legit, and I totally believe it's real. Yeah, that sounds real legit to me. She asked if I wanted to, I went ahead and did agree to do an informational session with them on, I think, Tuesday of next week. Yeah, something like that. Um, and I might do it just for shits and giggles. Um, I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to actually do it. Um, I might go on just to be a disruptor, like, because if I'm listening to it and it sounds like bullshit, and if I can actually speak, I might just, you know, uh, say, once I realize it's a pyramid scheme or whatever, which probably won't take me very long, because it doesn't take long to identify such things. I might say, "Wow, this sounds like an awesome pyramid scheme. Thanks for wasting my time." And hang. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. Uh, if I can do that, I might do it just for entertainment value, because if I can record this somehow. I don't know if I'll have my personal information in the video or not. There's some way I can edit that out. I might record it and put it on this channel just for you guys. Who knows? We'll see. That's definitely a maybe. As far as the other, I did hear about one other job, and I'm not there. I hope it's frankly not that great of a job. It's basically being a remote Office 365 admin working from home. Yeah, I know it sounds good, but in reality, it's not that great. Um, it's strictly W-2, so there's no benefits whatsoever, no health insurance, nothing, and it's like it's a contract position that goes for a certain amount of time. I said that I'm willing to learn more about it, and we'll see where they fall on pay. But they're going to have to go really to the top of the range for me to be interested in it. Because if I have to provide my own health insurance, and if I'm making more, and if I'm making good, if I'm getting more on unemployment, it'd be stupid for me to take something where I'm getting less than I'm getting on unemployment, plus I have to provide my own health insurance. Sounds like a losing proposition. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But at least I know that's a real actual job instead of a scam. So that's basically it for this week. I'm concerned because I've never gone this long into a job hunt without what I would call more real opportunities, right? Usually by now, God, I've interviewed for at least a couple of jobs. I mean, shit, a minimum of like 2 or 3, right? And I've yet to even have a real phone interview for any of these any jobs. So I am very pessimistic about how May's going to go. If April's any indication of how May's going to be, probably not going to go so well. But of course, things could change. I don't know if they will in May or not. I hope they do. But we'll see. It really depends on. I know around here, Indiana and Ohio are planning on, quote, opening back up soon, right? So I don't know how much hiring that's going to generate, right? So who the hell knows what's going to happen? I got my fingers crossed that it'll go well, but I don't have the slightest inclination on how it's going to go. So that is basically it. Thanks so much for listening to this. If any of you guys are in a similar situation, I hope you guys are getting something out of this. That's the whole reason I do these videos. That's basically it. You guys know what to do. Thanks so much for watching. Live long and prosper. Keep on rocking.
Bonus trail footage. Here I am on Saturday at the extremely excellent Brookville Lake State Park here in Indiana. Absolutely gorgeous day and absolutely gorgeous trails. Great day to be outside. So there you have it. See you guys.